We are about to watch the playground sequence in Toy Story 4.
This is a really pivotal part of a film when, in toy mode, Woody and Bo see each other for the first time.
We knew when we saw the first boards that this was a pivotal moment in the movie and that it did have to feel really special when Bo and Woody are reunited for the first time.
She's a new Bo. She's seen things. She's been through hard times.
Since one of the biggest rules in the Toy Story universe is they can't act alive when humans might see them, from a sets and design and character standpoint, story standpoint, we're always looking for ways for them to be able to be themselves, to be alive, and remain hidden.
And when we watch things like this, it's easy to take a lot of this for granted, but every single element that you're seeing on the frame here is created by someone.
We built the playground in pieces that could be easily moved around by the camera team and by animation so that the audience would always feel like Woody was hidden.
We can never forget that they're toys, and they should never be little people just running around.
So the toy dump truck here was very deliberately chosen so that you could hide in it. And then when the school bus pops up, he immediately runs for a bench. And that bench wasn't there at first, but animation said, hey, we need something for him to be able to get back to the sandbox.
Did you see him? How many are there?
Whoa, whoa!
I love that we got to incorporate these two toys. They were loosely inspired by toys I played with growing up, a Sky Dancer and another toy I remember that was like a cupcake.
Probably my favorite new toy in the whole movie is the shark.
Him rowing up the slide kills me every time. Just his expression, especially in the boards, it was just like, he's so happy.
Every screening, that got a big laugh.
We learn about all sorts of things we wouldn't normally learn about, like the fact that this soft rubber ground, I think it's called poured rubber, and it's made out of recycled car tires.
When you see Woody lying on that blue rubber surface, the shader on this sequence has kids, so he's going to these playgrounds always, and he actually had a piece of this rubber surface in his office, and it really shows how he's got all the little details of that surface, even down to the little sparkles.
Okay, so Michael Yates boarded this awesome scene right here, and it's this great reveal of Bo because you're on the kid's feet and then she picks him up and you're in Woody's shoes when you finally reveal Bo.
I remember you talking about this before, how you wanted it to seem like the original Bo, the beautiful bodice and lace.
We wanted her to be immediately recognizable as Bo, so the first outfit you see her in is the skirt still. And another thing I love about their first meet is that it's in toy mode. So they can't express how they truly feel at first.
Another aspect of Bo that I love is anytime we see her in the movie, there's some symbol of the dots from her lampshade. And in this moment, it has to do with the tiny little shadows and dots of pinpricks of light in the trees. And there's just a tiny little bit of dust in the air that's out of focus.
And those circles that are formed out of focus are called bokeh or bokeh, or depending on who's saying it.
It's beautiful.
If you're Forky, you'd say Boca.
Yeah.
It's sort of her theme throughout the movie.
Wow, that's amazing.
I remember Carrie working on the sequence and playing around with ideas of like, well, how could a child play with Bo in all these different ways? And this wraparound skirt was this key piece that could be anything that a kid wants it to be. A cloak, it could be a bag, it could be a parachute.
Ultimately, we wanted to show that Woody's out of his element and Bo knows exactly what she's doing. She plays on this playground all the time. So when they're set down, there's so much they want to say to each other, but she immediately stops them because she's like 3 steps ahead of them. She grabs the Frisbee and she takes off. So she knows like the perfect tool to use, just utilizing anything around her to get out of there and get into a more secluded area.
In her original lamp mode, the crook was this prop. It wasn't as important to her movement, but now that she's in the real world and on the go, this crook had to become this extension of her body. And I loved hearing from animation about how they were taking reference from throwing spears or looking into martial arts that helped influence how Bo would move with this as an extension of her arm.
When they tumble down, I love it because there's this awkwardness and excitement between the two of them. Something he doesn't know about her yet is she's figured out this really smart way of getting around, and it's with this very strange thing that we call a skunkmobile.
Skunk! Skunk!
Watch out!
She's taken this RC car and she's fashioned all these recycled parts over it to look like a skunk, because what better way to get around than an animal that no one wants to come in close contact with? Another like really technically hard thing, while Woody's talking to her right here, she takes off her skirt in front of him in this really casually cool way that's effortless, so shows her character. But behind the scenes, that was actually like really hard to do, right?
Yeah, I mean, we were initially talking about her taking off her skirt or her cape, and we're like, oh, we'll do that off screen, right? Yeah, that will be off screen. We'll never see that. And
But then I boarded it.
yeah, you're bored. We're like, okay, let's do this. It was daunting. Anytime you're dealing with loose organic cloth, you're always going to have challenges of consistency from shot to shot and just control of the movement.
When you're storyboarding, do you realize how much power you have based on
Oh, I have no power.
based on what you draw?
I just plead, please, please, you guys, make this look awesome. Make this look cool.
So a fun fact about this cape is that it's thrown down next to, in sets, our smallest environment, Giggle McDimple's police badge, which when opened up forms her little house.
When you first see her, she's actually at her desk up there looking at this like beautiful mind chart of who knows what's going on in Pet Patrol land.
Yeah, I remember in the early boards, there was a much closer shot on her at that table in front of that board there, and she was talking about how she lost her friend back in that version.
In one version of the movie, we had this whole backstory of a partner that she had that was a dog, and she lost him. So it's that trope of, I lost my partner out in the field.
Yeah, I love all these details that were put into there, from like the clipboard to the big map in the background.
Yeah, her friend's food. She's eating a donut and he's eating a bone since he's a dog.
I love this. I'm seeing it for the first time. You guys put a water cooler in there. That's such a great detail.
Toy Story 4 might have more Easter eggs than any Pixar movie, and so we try to hide some in almost every scene. And here, the battery pack inside the Skunkmobile, the brand name is B&L, which is by and large from WALL-E. And the sheep find a bottle cap that they bring over that's a grape soda bottle cap from the movie Up.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. Combat Carl's getting played with. You guys in?
This was something that wasn't written in the script, and I just added. So it really like tickles me that it actually made it into the movie. That Arctic goes for the high five and is missed.
It's comedy gold.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I love high
this
five
gag.
jokes.
Yeah.
That's so cool you boarded that, Carrie, because yeah, that got a huge laugh every time when I watched it.
Yeah, every single time.
Oh, thank you.
All right, guess we're doing this. Let's ride!
There's a lot of time by a lot of very talented people in a lot of departments to create these images. Everything is hand modeled to create the form, everything is hand shaded for how it will look like, then interacted with and animated and lit.
I love seeing all the details, the dirt on the tires, the fur on the skunk, like seeing just everything come together, all those details that everyone has been nitpicking over, and have them all combined into this beautiful piece.
And for just every team to get involved and add their layer of detail, professionalism and polish and come together to get to the point where hopefully at this moment that the audience would just get goosebumps seeing them reunited.
I've always felt we were able to make something together that none of us could achieve by ourselves, and that's part of the magic of all working together here at Pixar.
Second chance antiques and step on it.